Father of compassion, have mercy on the nation that is born by him. And may he remember the covenant of the spiritually mighty. May he rescue our souls from the bad times and upbraid the evil inclination to leave those born by him. Graciously make us an eternal remnant and fulfill our request in good measure for salvation and mercy. May he help shield and save all who take refuge in him. Now let us respond. All of you who ascribe greatness to our Elohim and give honor to the Torah, arise, Bill ben Abraham, an Israelite, and come to the bema to read from the Torah. Blessed is he who gave the Torah to his people Israel in his holiness. Baruch et Yehovah Hamarah.
Baruch Yehovah Hamarak Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Yehovah Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bakar Banu Likol Hamim V'natan Banu Yatarto Baruch Atah Yehovah Notein HaTorah Notein HaTorah. Blessed are you, God, our King, King of the universe, who has chosen us from all people and given us his Torah. Blessed are you, Yehovah, giver of the Torah.
Oh, that's the closing blessing. Sorry.
Okay. The reading this morning will be for Shemot 27, 1 through 16, and the Maftir 17 and 19. And you shall make a slaughter place of acacia wood, 5 cubits long and 5 cubits wide. The slaughter place is square, and its height 3 cubits. And you shall make its horns on its 4 corners. Its horns are of the same, and you shall overlay it with bronze. And you shall make its pots to receive its ashes, and its shovels, and its basins, and its forks, and its fire holders. Make all of its utensils of bronze. And you shall make a grating for it, a bronze network, and shall make on the network 4 bronze rings at its 4 corners, and shall put it under the rim of the slaughter place beneath, so that the network is halfway up the slaughter place. And you shall make poles for the slaughter place, poles of acacia wood, and shall overlay them with bronze. And the poles shall be put in the rings, and the poles shall be on the 2 sides of the slaughter place for lifting it. Make it hollow with boards, as it was shown to you on the mountain, so they are to make it. And you shall make the courtyard of the dwelling place for the south side screens for the courtyard made of fine woven linen, 100 cubits long for one side, and its 20 columns and their 20 sockets of bronze, the hooks of the columns and their bands of silver. And so for the north side in length, screens 100 cubits long, and its columns and its 20 sockets of bronze, and the hooks of the columns and their bands of silver. And the width of the courtyard on the west side screen of 50 cubits, with 10 columns on their 10 sockets. And the width of the courtyard on the east side 50 cubits, and the screens on one side and the gate 15 cubits, with their 3 columns and their 3 sockets. And on the other side of the screens 15 cubits, and their 3 columns and their 3 sockets. And for the gate of the courtyard, a covering of 20 cubits long, of blue and purple and scarlet material, and fine woven linen, made by a weaver, 4 columns and 4 sockets. All the columns around the courtyard have bands of silver, their hooks silver, and their sockets bronze. And then the maftir. The length of the courtyard is 100 cubits, and the width 50 by 50, and the height 5 cubits, woven of fine linen thread, and its sockets of bronze. All the utensils of the dwelling place and all of its service, all of its pegs, and all of the pegs of courtyards are bronze.
Please join me for the closing Torah blessing. Well, I think let's do this here. Not just yet. Baruch atah Yehovah Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah ve'emet v'kayeh elatam atah b'tekenu Baruch atah Yehovah
Notein HaTorah.
Notein HaTorah. Blessed are you, Yehovah our Elohim, King of the universe, who has given us the Torah of truth and has planted eternal life in our midst. Blessed are you, Yehovah, giver of the Torah. He who blessed our forefathers, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, may he bless Bill ben Abraham, as he has come to read from the Torah in honor of Yehovah and his word. As a reward for this, may the Holy One, blessed is he, protect him and rescue him from every trouble and distress, every plague and illness, and may he send blessing and prosperity in his every endeavor, together with all Israel, his brethren. Now let us respond. Amen. Vezod HaTorah Asher Sam Moshe Lifnei B'nei Israel Al Pei Yehovah B'yad Moshe. And this is the Torah that Moshe placed before the children of Israel at the command of Yehovah through Moshe's hand. Return, O Yehovah, to the countless thousands of Israel. You may now be seated. I'd now like to call Jared ben Abraham to read from the Haftarah. The opening blessing for the Haftarah. Baruch atah Yehovah Eloheinu melech haolam Asher bakar minvim tovim Beretzav adevrahim hane'amarim be'emet Baruch atah Yehovah haboker b'Torah uv Moshe avdo Uv Israel amo, uv enviei haemet vazedek. Blessed are you, Yehovah our Elohim, King of the universe, who has selected good prophets and was pleased with their words which are spoken truthfully. Blessed are you, Yehovah, who chooses the Torah, your servant Moshe, your people Israel, and the prophets of truth and righteousness.
Readings from 1 Kings 5:12 through 6:13. And Yahweh said to Shlomo wisdom as he promised him, gave to Shlomo wisdom as he promised him. And there was peace between Hiram and Shlomo, and the two of them made a covenant. And the sovereign Shlomo raised up compulsory labor out of all Israel, and the compulsory labor was 30,000 men. And he sent them to Lebanon, 10,000 per new moon by courses. They were one new moon in Lebanon and 2 new moons at home. And Adoniram was over the compulsory labor. And Shlomo had 70,000 bearing burdens and 80,000 hewing stones in the mountains, besides 3,300 from the chiefs of Shlomo's deputies who were over the work, those ruling over the people who labored in the work. And the sovereign commanded, and they brought large stones, precious stones, and laid the foundations of the house with hewn stones. And Shlomo's builders and Hiram's builders and the men of Gebal did hew and prepare timber and stones to build the house. And it came to be in the 480th year after the children of Israel came out of the land of Mitzrayim, in the 4th year of the reign of Shlomo over Israel, in the new moon of Ziv, which is the 2nd new moon, that he began to build the house of Yahweh. And the house which sovereign Shlomo built for Yahweh was 60 cubits long and 20 wide and 30 cubits high. And the porch of the house of the hekel of the house was 20 cubits long, according to the breadth of the house, and its width 10 cubits from the front of the house. And he made for the house windows with narrowed frames. And against the wall of the house he built rooms all around against the walls of the house, all around the hekel and the speaking place. Thus he made side rooms all around. The lowest side room was 5 cubits wide, and the middle one was 6 cubits wide, and the third one was 7 cubits wide. For he made narrow ledges around and outside the house, so as not to lay hold on the walls of the house. And the house, when it was being built, was built with finished stones made ready beforehand, so that no hammer nor chisel nor any iron tool was heard in the house while it was being built. The doorway in the middle of the side room was on the right side of the house, and they went up by stairs to the middle side rooms, and from the middle to the third. So he built the house and completed it, and he paneled the house with beams and boards of cedar, and he built the side rooms of the structure against all the house, each 5 cubits high, and they were fastened to the house with cedar beams. And the word of Yahweh came to Shlomo, saying, This house which you are building, if you walk in my laws and do my right rulings, and shall guard all my commands, and walk in them, then I shall confirm my word with you, which I spoke to your father David, and shall dwell in the midst of the children of Israel, and not forsake my people Israel.
And the closing blessing of the Haftarah. Baruch atah Yehovah Eloheinu melech haolam, zur kol halamim, zadik b'kol haderohu, ha'el hane'aman, hamer ve'oseh, hamnebarum kayim, shekol devarah, emet vazedek, ni'aman, atahu Yehovah Eloheinu, v'ne'amanim devareka, v'devarekat midvareka, akorle shurekam, kiel melech ni'aman, Barakamanata, Baruch atah Yehovah, ha'el hane'aman, bekol devarah. Blessed are you, Yehovah our Elohim, King of the universe, Rock of all eternity, faithful in all generations, who says and does, who speaks and makes it come to pass, all of whose words are true and righteous. Faithful are you, Yehovah our Elohim, and faithful are your words. For not one word of yours is turned back unfulfilled. For you are a faithful El and King. Blessed are you, Yehovah, the Elohim, who is faithful in all his words. He who blessed our forefathers, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, may he bless Jared ben Abraham, because he has come up to read from the Haftarah. As a reward for this, may the Holy One, the Father of our Messiah, blessed is he, protect him and rescue him from every illness, and may he send blessing and success in his every endeavor, together with all Israel, his brethren. Now let us respond. Amen. And I'd like to call John ben Abraham to read from the second writings. John ben Levi. I don't know which John that was. Mr. Levy? Yes, sir. Go get on. All right, would you like to do the opening blessing? Okay. Baruch atah Yehovah, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher Natan Lanu Mashiach Yehoshua V'Haketavim Shel HaTalmudim Baruch Atah Yehovah Notain HaBrit HaTorah. Blessed are you, Yehovah our Elohim, King of the universe, who has given us Messiah in the writings of the Talmudim. Blessed are you, Yehovah, giver of the covenant of the Torah.
We're reading today from 2 Corinthians chapter 9, the entire chapter of chapter 9, verses 1 through 15. Indeed, concerning the service to the set-apart ones, it is unnecessary for me to write to you. For I know your eagerness, about which I boast of you to the Macedonians, that Achaia was ready a year ago, and your ardor has stirred up most of them. But I sent the brothers, lest our boasting on behalf of you should be made empty in this part, in order that, as I said, you were ready. Lest if some Macedonians come with me and find you are not ready, we, not to speak of you, should be put to shame because of our belief. So I thought it necessary to appeal to the brothers to come to you in advance and arrange your promised blessing beforehand, this to be ready as a blessing and not as greediness. And this, he who sows sparingly shall also reap sparingly, and he who sows on blessing shall also reap on blessing. Let each one give as he purposes in his heart, not of grief or of necessity, for Elohim loves a joyous giver. And Elohim is able to make all favor overflow toward you, that you always, having all you need in every way, have plenty for every good work. As it has been written, he scattered abroad, he gave to the poor, his righteousness remains forever. And he who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food shall supply and increase the seed you have sown, and increase the fruit of your righteousness, being enriched in every way for all simplicity, which works out thanksgiving to Elohim through us. Because the rendering of the service not only supplies the needs of the set-apart ones, but also is overflowing through many thanksgivings to Elohim. Through the proof of the service, they esteem Elohim in the submission of your confession to the good news of Messiah, generosity in sharing with them and all men, and by their prayer for you, who long for you because of the exceeding favor of Elohim in you. Thanks also to Elohim for his unspeakable gift.
Amen. And a closing blessing from the second writings. Baruch atah Yehovah Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu hanevar haemet v'kayeh ulotam natam v'tikenu Baruch atah Yehovah asher natan lanu Mashiach Yehoshua v'haketuvim al talmudim. Blessed are you, Yehovah our Elohim, King of the universe, who has given us the word of truth and has planted eternal life in our midst. Blessed are you, Yehovah, who has given us the Messiah and the writings of the Talmudim. He who blessed our forefathers, Abram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, may he bless Yochanan ben Levi, because he has come to read from the second writings and honor Messiah and his teachings. As a reward for this, may the Holy One, the Father of our Messiah, blessed is he, protect him and rescue him from every trouble and distress, from every plague and illness, and may he send blessing and success in his every endeavor, together with all Israel, his brethren. Now let us respond. Amen. Amen. If we'll stand for the Etz Chaim He. Somebody. Etz Chaim He. Lama kazikim ba veto me'ameha mushar darakeha darkenoha vekol nativotecha shalom hashivanu Yehovah Aleka v'nashuva Kadesh Kadesh Yameinu Kekedem. Is it a tree of life to those who take hold of it, and those who support it are praiseworthy? Its ways are the ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace. Bring us back, Yehovah, to you, and we shall come, renew our days as of old. This concludes the Torah service. You may be seated. And who do we have for the Midrash today?
I think that Elena is doing her study.
Okay.
So we're going to do it.
Oh, so we have a study after service? All right.
Like instead of a midrash.
So we're going into, all right, we'll do our closing service practice here. The repetition of the Shema. If you please stand. Shema Yisrael, Yehovah Eloheinu, Yehovah Echad, Baruch Shem Kevo, Malkuto, Leolam Vaed. Hear, O Yisrael, Yehovah Eloheinu, Yehovah is one. Blessed is the name of his glorious kingdom for all eternity. Amen. And we're going to do the blessing of the wine.
Do the blessing of the wine, and then we do the blessing. Do it all.
Yeah.
Okay. Turn it off first.
Blessing over the wine. Baruch atah Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen, Amen. Blessed are you, Yehovah Elohim, King of the universe, who creates the fruit of the vine. Blessing over the bread. Baruch atah Yehovah Eloheinu melech haolam, blessed are you, Yehovah Elohim, King of the universe, who brings forth bread from the earth. And taking bread, giving thanks, he broke it and gave to them, saying, This is my body which is given for you. Do this in remembrance of me.
I have set watchmen on your walls, O Yerushalayim, all the day and all the night, continually, who are not silent. You who remember Yehovah, give yourselves no rest, and give him no rest till he establishes, until he makes Yerushalayim a praise in the earth. Yehovah, we just come before you, and we just give you thanks and praise that we can lift up Israel to you, but also your people, the Hebrew Israelites, to you, Father. We thank you for your protection. We thank you for guidance during this time. We thank you for the yearning of the hearts that you put on those that are to come into you to see the truth, that their ears are open, that their eyes are made to see, and their hearts are open to receive. And we just praise you and we glorify you that we are in a place, Father, where we can cry out to you and we can praise you and we can stand in the gap and be the watchman on those walls. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please stand for the Aaronic benediction. Father, you spoke to Moshe saying how to bless the children of Israel. Today we do not have the presence of Aaron and his sons. So in their absence, we as a congregation will read in English and sing in Hebrew how to bless the children of Israel by saying to them,
Yehovah bless you and guard you. Yehovah make his face to shine on you and show favor to you. Yehovah lift up his face upon you and give you peace. Thus they shall put my name on the children of Israel, and I myself shall bless them.
All right, and that includes our online broadcast today. Thank you for joining us, and we'll have a study afterwards here.